بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. صدق الله العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has blessed us with another day, a day in which we can remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to think of all of the blessings which He has showered upon us. We are currently going through the World Cup, and everybody is glued to their screens and cheering for the underdog. Yesterday, Belgium got sent home and Germany got sent home.
You are following this. I thought you aren't.
I have to like football too much. So that's what I'm saying, it's not a good thing. So we need to fix this somehow. So as we watch along, there are lessons which can be taken from the sport as well. So as I was sitting there, I thought, how can I make some kind of understanding and explanation from this? So what I came up with was the way that this sport is played, the rules, the regulations, everything, that the players take so much care. So when we look at a football pitch, we see there is all of the lines of the pitch, and with the lines of the pitch, if the ball goes out of play, then no matter how much a person tries, he will not be able to continue with the game. So the ball has to stay within the boundaries of the pitch. And you can ask the Germans about the ball staying in the pitch after what happened last night. So if the ball goes out of the pitch, then of course the game stops. So this can be compared to our life in the dunya, that there are rules and regulations which have to be followed by us when it comes to the rules and regulations and the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That we cannot let the ball of our life leave from that pitch. That pitch is making sure that we understand what Allah is expecting from us. So to be very, very careful and make sure that we are following the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The way that a person tries so hard, a player tries so hard not to be in an offside position. Not to be in an offside position. If a player is offside and they score a goal, does it count? Doesn't count. So in the same way, there are many ways that a Muslim can be offside. And that is being in those places where you are not supposed to be. Don't be in that place where you're not supposed to. Otherwise your goal is not going to count and you are not going to Jannah. So that is why it is very important that we understand the way that all the players understand the rules and regulations of the game. We have to understand the rules and regulations of this test that we are in from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the biggest thing which I took from the games is there is a time. 90 minutes. Especially, nowadays the games are going up to 100 with all the added time extra here and there. But the time is a specific amount. No matter how much, after the referee has blown the full-time whistle, the players can all go and stand next to the goal and keep on scoring. It's not going to count because the game is done, finished. So in the same way, this life of the dunya is in the exact same way. That when the time is come, when your time comes, no minute, no second forward, and no second backwards can a person say, okay, I'm going to stay a bit longer. So whatever is written for us, we are going to be here for that amount of time. And we have to make sure that we are following the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the biggest thing during these times, a person, especially during the group stage games, 4 games a day, one after the other, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, person doesn't move from the sofa, just sitting there the whole way. And this is where a person's deen and iman gets tested. This is where Allah mentions, حَافِظُوا عَلَى الصَّلَوَاتِ وَالصَّلَاةِ الْوُسْطَى. That protect your salah. That no matter how well your team are doing, no matter what situation it is, what is more important? The listening to the commands of Allah or watching a game which is of no use. So this is where we have to be very careful and protect our salah. Most important thing. Our salah is the most important thing that we can ever have in our life. No matter how much you think, this is the thing which is going to save us. This is the thing which will benefit us. No matter what time of the day it is, no matter what kind of a moment we are living in, this is the most important thing, Ahmed. Our salah. No matter what the situation is. حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى. The Mufassirin have mentioned Salat al-Wusta, that the majority of them have mentioned that it is the Asr Salah, the one which is in the middle of the day. Because this is the one when people can be very, very busy, and especially we will be able to realize in these winter months that as soon as Dhuhr Salah is done, then straight away it is Asr Salah. So we have to be very wary, very careful not to delay our Salah as well. That the Salah is the thing which we have to put as a priority. As long as we understand what our priorities in life are, then we will be able to be successful. If a person does not understand what is his purpose in life, what he is supposed to do, then he is failing. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has helped us along the way by teaching us these things, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And when we look at all of the things that we have. When we see the blessings that we have, there are things which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has mentioned in order for us to bring into our life and to understand the value of such things. There's a very special, famous hadith which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned about the importance of 5 things. 5 things before 5 other things. And from amongst them, the first thing Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned is the youth that you have before your old age. When a person is younger, he is able to do so much more than when he gets older. So to make sure that his youth is not getting wasted on futile things. So nowadays we are living in a time where youngsters, any spare time that they have, they'll sit on their phone or on the TV and they'll watch shows and cartoons and all of these other things, wasting their life away. So boys, young boys sitting there, too much cartoons is not good. Too much TV is not good. When you are a youngster, get out there and play as well. Enjoy yourself and get some fresh air within you. Don't just sit there and get consumed by a TV and then TV will tell you exactly what to do and you become a cartoon yourself. So it's very important that in your young age you use it in the best way. Learn. Use that time that you have, that free time, to read some books, to learn about the deen, to help your parents around the house. All of these things are done. Because when a person when he gets older, he will think, I wish I could have done this and I wish I could have done that. So instead of having those regrets, we make sure that we do everything that we can when we have it. The next thing Nabi mentioned is your health. Your health before illness comes along. All of last week, I was in bed. I wasn't well. And it was very, very difficult. You're used to doing things when you are well and you take it for granted. I think, it's very easy, something I can do. I do it all the time. And then when illness comes, you're sitting in bed and you can't do anything at all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us that you think you are something, but just because of this bit of health going away, this is the situation of a person. So we don't know what is going to happen to us tomorrow. So we try our best and we make use of the good health that we have. And to be grateful for the health as well. There are people around the world who are in a much worse situation than us. So we should always be grateful and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First of all, He has given us the tawfiq to be here. He has given us health. He has given us the body parts that we have in order to use them in a good way. Next thing which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned is that the wealth that you have, use it before it goes away. That we use our wealth in the best way possible. Whatever we can, we try and give in sadaqah. We try and give in charity. We try and help our own family members. One thing which recently we mentioned while speaking on this topic in the hadith which we do, is when a person spends on his family, he gets the reward of giving charity. That just spending on your own family is a way to get reward. To never think of it as a burden. I find it so difficult. My family are like this and they're always asking for these things. But in actual fact, it is a way for a person to get reward. To have the mindset. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this responsibility upon us. So when we fulfill that responsibility, Allah will reward us for it. So to be grateful that Allah has given us a family and Allah has given us the opportunity to spend on that family. And with having this mindset, Allah will make it easy for us and then Allah will put barakah in it for us as well. After that, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned is free time. Free time that you have before you start working, before you start getting busy. When a person has free time, it gets, you don't know where the hours go. One goes here and one goes there and that's it gone. So we have to make sure that whatever time that we do have, we use it in the right way. By remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by doing dhikr, by reciting the Quran, even if it means 5-10 minutes every single day, when we are sitting, we are doing something. This is the most important thing. That every day is always, whenever a person says, I don't have time, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. These are all kind of things which we have to make time for the dhikr and the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the most important thing, that we always find time for it. And finally, the last thing which is Mr. mentioned that we have to take advantage of is life before death. Life before death. Every single one of us here, we are living. Yes? We're living. Alhamdulillah. We are living here, but nobody has a guarantee of tomorrow. Nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, we could be under the ground and we will be waiting for a meeting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So nobody knows when they are going to leave from the dunya. We have to prepare for it in the best way. And the best way of preparing for it is by knowing that I am here for a reason. Allah has put me into the dunya for a reason, and that reason is for me to try and please Him, to gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If a person gains the pleasure of Allah, he has gained everything. If he doesn't have the pleasure of Allah, then he has nothing. And this is where we always have to ask ourselves that am I on the right track? Am I doing what I am supposed to do? Am I doing everything to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And this can only happen if we sit and we think about it. So this is where we have to make sure that we do everything that we can in order to gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure. And the first thing and the way that that can happen is by being punctual with our salah. Being punctual with our salah. No matter what the situation is, whatever the time is, whenever the time for salah comes, not to delay the salah. Not to delay the salah. Pray the salah as soon as you can. Of course, everybody's at work, everybody has their different things that they need to be doing. But when the time for salah comes, if you're around the masjid, come to the masjid. If you're not around the masjid, pray at home, pray at work, straight away. The thing which Rasulullah mentioned that this is enough for a person to be differentiated from kufr and from belief. That the one who prays salah, the one who doesn't pray salah, it is like the one who is not a believer anymore. But a person can be doing all of the sins which a person can ever do. Every single sin in the world, he is doing it. But he is praying his salah. This person is better than the one who is not doing any sin but not praying his salah. The one who is not praying his salah, he is not any better. So the one who is praying his salah, because he is still constantly remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never let shaitan get to your head and think that you're doing so much wrong. There's no point of you praying your salah. It's not going to get accepted. This is where shaitan is very clever, and he tries to get through to your head. That's the whole point and the purpose we have of istighfar is there, so that we keep on asking for Allah's forgiveness. No matter how much wrong that you do, pray your salah and then ask for forgiveness. Pray your salah, ask for forgiveness. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. Allah give us tawfiq and understanding to act upon these things. Ameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. If we are going to just move forward and fill in the gaps and pray your sunnahs, please.